It's time for the truth booth, all right? You cannot make up. You cannot make up. And if you've been in the system, you've learned this. You cannot make up how truly insane our justice system is. How third world and lawless our prosecutors, enforcers, and judges have become. All right. Okay, I see you guys in there, popping in there. I'm going to jump right into tonight's show because this is actually huge. Mash that like and subscribe button. Spread this to other people. This is a big deal. I got a motion. The title of this video is accurate, all right? I got a motion sent to me today that was filed in the court. Remember how I told you that last time in court on these charges, right? So I was arrested by Officer Kennedy because I filmed and spoke to him in a way that he didn't like, and I was arrested and charged with obstruction and harassment. No real probable cause was given or needed because the judges in America find probable cause regardless, all right? So instead of supporting the law, which is what we represent when we speak up and stand out, they support the system, the Blue Syndicate, Blue ISIS, all right? So I bring this up in court. They're proceeding with these fake charges regardless. They don't have evidence. They stole my phone as evidence without a warrant, and then ex post facto, they went and got a warrant. They couldn't get into my phone because it's password protected. I want to take a moment to say, guys, not thumbprints, not Face ID, because all they have to do is make you touch it, and the bar is far lower for them to get away with that. Okay, neither of those things. Don't just give them the low-hanging fruit. All right? It's not that we're hiding anything that's bad, right? It's not that we're doing anything bad. It's that prosecutors and police are looking for something that they can take out of context and lie and spin, just like Officer Kennedy openly did in his police report, and I've proven that to you guys on this channel, that his police report did not match what is provable on video. All right? Password protected. Password protect your computers, your phones. Do not just hand this stuff over. So the good news is they sent this to a high-profile company to try and crack it called Celebrite, all right? This motion, which just came in today, says they couldn't do it. They couldn't get in. So now the motion to compel, that means force, defendant, that means me, the one being charged, to unlock phone. Why? So they can dig through that phone in hopes of finding evidence against me. In this case, what they want is the video that I took that they stole from me that would probably be out already had they not stolen it from me because I didn't do anything wrong. I called out a corrupt local crony bully as he should have been. All right? I want to read to you guys because I want you to understand the gravity of this. This is pretty much, there's been a few high-profile cases on this, but the outcry against people, I mean, they're trying to do this at the border. They're trying to do this to all kinds of people of, you have to give up your password and let us look. No, you don't. We have a Fourth Amendment. We have a Fifth. So the Fourth Amendment prevents you from search without warrant, right? The Fifth Amendment says they cannot force you to give evidence against yourself. And in this case, Article 1.7, I believe it is, of the Washington State Constitution does the same, okay? Comes now the state of Washington by and through Mark F. Fedorak, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney, and requests the court order the defendant, Gavin Seim, to unlock the phone. Now, bear in mind, this motion, guys, is coming after I brought this up last time. I raised this issue knowing how slippery and sneaky and underhanded and unprincipled these prosecutors are. I raised this issue in court last time, and I said to the judge, are you going to try and force me? And the judge very vehemently affirmed, and I, you know, despite my disagreements with the judge on the fact that we're even going forward with this case, I put that on the record, and I based some of my decisions going forward on that. Am I going to be forced or found in contempt for not giving you the password? I asked the judge. And he said, no, I'm not going to force you. You can give the password if you want, but I won't force you or find you in contempt. All right? So this has been established. And yet here's this motion. This has already been addressed in court. It's knowingly crossing the line. It is open violation. Every step of this case, guys, is a violation. And let's be clear, it is a crime. This is a felony, what these prosecutors and officers are doing, not just to me, but to the Bundys, to the natives, the blacks, the whites, the Mexicans, to you guys all over America. USC 241, 18 USC 241, this is US Code 241 and 242, specifically deal with conspiracy to violate rights and violation of rights under color of law, which is what all of this is. So they're conspiring. The police are violating your rights under color of law. You have to do what I say or I'm going to arrest you and take your stuff. The prosecutors are conspiring to violate your rights. Both of these are federal felonies, okay? But the problem is they are literally almost never held to account for this. Let's go on. I won't read you this whole motion because it'll take too long. You'll get the idea here real fast. Short answer. Compelling Mr. Seim to unlock his iPhone 7 would not violate the Fifth Amendment, where the state knows with reasonable particularity that Mr. Seim has the passcode to open it. What? I'm sorry. Say that again. We want Mr. Seim to give us evidence that we can try to use him against him in court, and even though the law says you can't do that, in this case, that wouldn't apply. Okay, yes, Nate, you're right. This is unbelievable. But understand, this isn't just like them coming against me. This is every court, every day in America. All right, he goes on. Got a couple pages here. He says, both the Washington state and federal constitutions limit what evidence the court can compel the defendant to produce, right? The Fifth Amendment says no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to witness against himself, right? Okay? This doesn't give you your rights, it reminds you of them. You have no constitutional rights, you have human rights, and so does everyone else. All right? Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution of Washington, no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to give evidence against himself. I am sorry. What part, Prosecutor Mark, what part of shall not be compelled to give evidence against himself? What part of that in the English language? Now, this guy claims to be a lawyer, right? Our judges and prosecutors, they claim to be lawyers. Do any of you guys have any confusion about the part, in the Constitution that says no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself? All right, I pity these people. They are so filled with darkness, but they have to know they're committing crimes. They have to know. They have to know that they're abusing people. You can't be that ignorant. All right? So he goes on. This is how they do it. I've told you guys, follow this case because you'll see how the machinations of our injustice system work. They file motions, they make these rhetorical arguments, they take other out-of-context things and they spin them, and then when you try to defend yourself, they say, be quiet, you're going to incriminate yourself, only let us talk, all right? It is a black hole, Tommy. And here's the thing. He goes on and he pontificates in this motion, citing some case law that doesn't really apply, and not that case law is actually law anyhow, it's precedent. The law is our rights. If a judge in the past failed to uphold our rights, that's not our problem. That said, they really have nothing, okay? This is a hotly disputed thing right now, and by and large, the courts have clearly upheld that you do not have to give up the password. All right, so he's going through here. He makes a specifically false statement and uses that in his case, in this motion. I'm not going to say what it is right now, but he makes a specifically false statement, a lie that the officer told in his police report as a reason for why they need to, continue and pursue and bring these charges and get into my phone. All right? So this is how they do it. They spin it, they lie, they take things out of context, they rearrange the order of things, they pontificate, and then here's the crux. Okay? The state has already secured a search warrant to search for the video recording that was created by Mr. Seim with the lawfully, we made that up, lawfully seized iPhone 7. There was nothing lawful about the seizure, but they've spun the law already to make it okay for them to do that. Such a requirement on Mr. Seim would not offend the Fifth Amendment any more than requiring a defendant to provide fingerprints, a DNA sample, or wear a particular clothing. Guys, this is what our courts are coming to, okay? This is what law is. We don't have law in America. You don't have people say, oh, I'm gonna fight this, right? If I get arrested, I know I'm innocent. That doesn't matter because we have to prove ourselves innocent against all odds in a court, okay? Now, your phone, your tablet, your computer, lock them down. Not because me or you are hiding anything bad or evil, but because the government has zero right to look at it. Period. The courts no longer have to prove you guilty. They just say that to placate the jury and make them think it's about justice while they intimidate them and make them take an oath to the judge to do what the judge says. And yes, that's actually how it works at a trial. And I've been on trial myself. I've seen it firsthand. Okay? So if you can't prove yourself innocent, by and large, you will be convicted. And even if you can prove yourself innocent, probably you will be convicted. Now, your phone, it's no different than forcing you to give up the combination to your family safe or anything else. It is your private property. You don't have to argue. You don't have to make an excuse for why. You don't have to fall for the idea that says, well, if you have nothing to hide, what are you afraid of? Because that's not the point. The Founding Fathers, some 200 years plus ago, there were no cell phones, there were no phones, but there were still safes, there were still human rights. This document is still nailing it. They knew that government would illegally search, illegally siege, and illegally coerce you so they could get fake convictions because they had just gone to revolution over those very things under the tyranny of the king. And we have come back to that even worse. There is more tyranny now than when our founding fathers started the revolution. Far and away. It's not even close. The level of tyranny from the local to the state to the federal, the politicians, the presidents, the governors, they're all complicit. Every trial is a fraud. Every conviction is a denial of due process anymore, and the Constitution is quite literally forbidden in courts all over this nation. It's happening in the Bundy cases. It happened to Jeff Winehouse, to Schaefer Cox. It's happening on a local level with us. It's constant, you guys. So speak out, stand up. Don't let these people make you afraid and intimidate you. Don't mistake me. These are dangerous, armed, vindictive, violent people. But they need to be given the due process. We need to love our neighbor enough to stand up and then give these people not a lynch mob and vengeance and anger like people sometimes want, but the due process, the justice and compassion that they deny to us. That's how we have liberty again. That's how we have freedom. We come together, we unite, we become factionless, we throw out the parties, we throw out the lies and the manipulations, and we stand together for freedom. You guys, I'll keep you updated on what's going on with this. This has not been argued yet, so I'll be making arguments for this. And really, I feel like we don't even need to make an argument since the judge already ruled on it, but I'll probably have to argue regardless. This will be a high bar. I'm not convinced that they'll get this motion through. If they do, that's a huge deal. That's a big case. It's a major violation of the law and major error from the court. You guys speak up, stand up, like, share, subscribe, spread the word. And if you guys do want to support me, this video is probably already demonetized. Watch the video of me in the forest. I posted a neat video this week. If you didn't see it, go watch the one from me in the National Forest in Utah. One of those classic activist videos that you guys will like. Check that out. They already demonetized it. If you guys do want to support my channel, you want to pitch in a few bucks, callmegav.com/donate. You can send cash, you can send Bitcoin, whatever. And if you don't, I'm still going to keep standing up anyhow. But for those of you that are interested, and just stand. All right, you guys. Peace. And People keep asking, like, well, can't you remotely erase it? Why didn't it upload, right? Upload to the cloud requires an internet connection, so it's not as perfect as you guys think. I tried to go live that day, but I didn't have enough cell connection because AT&T had cruddy service there. So I couldn't go live, which is why I switched to the local video. So that didn't help with uploading either. I deal with huge amounts of video, and oftentimes I'm using remote Wi-Fi stations that have data limits. So I can't just upload automatically everything that goes on that phone. And the reality is it wouldn't have probably uploaded anyhow, because I actually got that phone turned off. After I was arrested, I got the officer to turn off the phone once the video had stopped. And that phone has been off. Near as I can tell, it has not been online ever since because it wouldn't be connected to Wi-Fi. They can't unlock it to connect it to Wi-Fi. It is locked down. And so yes, in some ways, that makes it hard for all of us, right? I don't even really know that my password will work anymore. However, it's also kept them from spying around in something that they have no right to be rooting through, and it's prevented them from doing things like planting evidence on my phone and things like that so they can try and demonize me. So, all right, you guys, that's where we're at with that. Password protect, film, always, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.